Tired sure has Boots on his mind, right?
Yeah, I know Bud keeps saying he's retired, but also what Bud is not saying, right? He keeps talking about the fight, and that's for a reason. Bud's one of the most competitive people I've ever met, if not the most.
Yep.
100%.
A+ versus A.
That's A+ versus A. I like that.
Terrence just a little too much and will catch him.
Yeah.
And buzz Boots. And
yeah.
I think that'll. I think Terrence stops him.
It's such a special fight because you got two alpha males in the ring.
Has Terence Crawford truly closed the chapter on his boxing career, or is the growing demand for one final blockbuster fight becoming too loud to ignore? After Jaron "Boots" Ennis delivered yet another statement victory, the conversation across the boxing world immediately shifted toward one dream matchup. Former champions, respected analysts, and fans all began asking the same question. If Crawford genuinely believes he is operating on a completely different level than Boots, then there is only one way to settle the argument: step back into the ring. Crawford owns one of the greatest resumes of this generation, while Boots represents the fearless new wave of boxing, bringing youth, size, power, confidence, and relentless ambition into the equation.
But Crawford makes it official, rejects the notion that he could come out of retirement to face Jaron "Boots" Ennis, stating he really has nothing to prove. Wishes Boots Ennis well on his journey, but he ain't coming out of retirement for no dang Jaron.
Although Crawford continues to maintain that retirement remains his primary focus, the boxing community refuses to let the subject fade away. Sean Porter spoke highly of Bud, and his opinion carries extra weight because he has shared the ring with Crawford himself. Porter understands that Crawford's greatness extends far beyond championship belts and accomplishments on paper. His remarkable ability to study opponents during a fight, make adjustments on the fly, and slowly take away everything they do well has made him one of the most intelligent fighters of this era. That is exactly why many people still believe Crawford would present an enormous challenge for Boots. While Ennis enjoys advantages in youth, physical strength, and explosive athleticism, Bud's greatest weapon has always been his unmatched boxing IQ.
True alpha males, you know what I mean? I was an alpha male until I got in the ring with that dude.
It just,
that dude, like, it was like, the more he wasn't allowing me to do he wasn't, and it was like, damn, okay. Well then,
you know? You had one of them in eights and the other in sparring?
I don't know, because that dude hit me with a right hand in the sparring, and I was like, I was like, yo, that was real.
It's one of those things where Boots is good, but once you run in there with that, you're like.
Ade Oladipo believes Jaron "Boots" Ennis may be the one opponent capable of convincing Crawford to return for one final appearance. In his opinion, this matchup has everything boxing fans could possibly ask for and is far too exciting to ignore. Boots fights with aggression, confidence, and a willingness to exchange punches with anyone standing across from him. That fearless style naturally creates endless curiosity about how Crawford would respond if he ever decided to lace up the gloves one more time. For Oladipo, it is exactly the type of fight that could tempt a legendary champion back into action.
And look, do I think Boots versus Crawford could happen? Yeah. Do I think it will happen? I guess that's down to Terence Crawford. We know Boots wants it. Eddie will take it straight away. Will Terence Crawford bite back? I think so far, he's put out a tweet. He's been quite complimentary. I saw a video he did with All the Smoke, quite complimentary of Boots' win. I almost want to see that nastiness in him come out. And it's there, trust me. I've been around Crawford quite a lot in the last few years. If someone pokes the bear, 9 times out of 10, Crawford will poke back. Could this be the 1 time out of 10 where he doesn't? I don't know. I don't want it to be. I've always felt that when Terence Crawford says, I'm not fighting again, obviously, look, he's been doing it for 30 years. Terence Crawford's, 38? He's been boxing since he was 7 or 8. So it could just be a case of, I want to do something different. He travels the world. He's in Tanzania right now. He's enjoying life. But I always felt he retired because where were the challenges? The big challenge was Canelo at 168. He done that. There was no real challenge at 154. He wasn't going to fight Sebastian Fundora or Virgil Ortiz. They weren't really making a play for him. There certainly wasn't challenges at 160. Carlos Adames, Alam Kanali, Hamza Shiraz. Nothing to tempt him. This could be the one that...
Max Kellerman has tremendous respect for everything Terence Crawford has accomplished throughout his remarkable career. He considers Bud one of boxing's finest technicians, a fighter whose patience, timing, and ability to make adjustments consistently frustrate elite opponents. At the same time, Kellerman believes Boots presents a challenge unlike any Crawford has faced in recent years. Ennis combines youth, physical strength, relentless pressure, switch-hitting ability, and a deep offensive arsenal capable of pushing even seasoned veterans into uncomfortable situations. According to Max, those qualities could make Boots the favorite if the fight happened today, not because Crawford is no longer great, but because Ennis may now hold the physical advantage.
I mean, look.
Not much. Not talking much.
Here's the thing. If Bud is 90% of who he has been, Boots got no wins against Bud. He ain't gonna be. But Bud would beat him up and knock him out.
He's fresh.
But now Bud's been off for a year. If Bud is off for a year and a half, 2 years, and he's pushing 40, the thing about Boots is he's a young man with young man reflexes, a sizzling offense. All of a sudden, your body's not responding the way it used to a guy like that. It becomes an interesting matchup. What do you think of this?
And there's a reason he's talking about it, all right? Look at what
Tim Bradley also acknowledges Crawford's incredible resume, championship pedigree, and wealth of experience at the highest level. Even so, he points out that Boots continues developing with every appearance inside the ring. Bradley believes Ennis is still improving despite already performing like an elite fighter, making him even more dangerous than many people realize. His ability to switch stances effortlessly, attack from unpredictable angles, and overwhelm opponents with fast combinations creates problems that are extremely difficult to prepare for. Bradley feels those unique strengths become even more challenging for someone who has been discussing retirement.
In the interview that he will knock out Bud Crawford.
He said easy work.
And he also said, said that
this ain't Xander's eyes, brother.
But he's also said that that Bud ducked him.
Right, but I'm saying Bud wouldn't even respond to him if he wasn't at least thinking about it a little bit, right?
But Bud, he's freshly retired.
Right.
You're talking about a competitive dog. And we got this guy over here talking crazy, saying that I'm easy work.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm gonna sit here and watch it, and I'm gonna.
Showbiz the Adult believes Crawford viewed Boots' latest victory much differently than the average boxing fan did. While social media exploded with praise following Ennis's impressive knockout performance, Bud reportedly watched the fight through a far more analytical and critical lens. Instead of becoming caught up in the excitement surrounding the finish, Crawford appeared to focus on the technical details throughout the contest. From his perspective, the celebration surrounding the victory may have been bigger than the actual performance justified, despite the dominant ending.
About what Terence Bud Crawford said here.
I think we overhyping this victory, you know, in a sense where nobody picked Xander to win. Everybody was kind of like, okay, he's in over his head and it's a matter of time before Boots catch him and end the fight.
Again, noodles, no packing. I don't give a damn, no.
Crawford reportedly noticed several details that many viewers completely overlooked. Although Boots finished the fight in spectacular fashion, Bud likely identified defensive openings, moments where Ennis remained within punching range longer than necessary, and situations where a more experienced opponent could have taken advantage. Those subtle mistakes are exactly the type of details an elite technician studies carefully rather than ignoring. While casual fans remember the knockout, Crawford's attention naturally shifts toward the weaknesses that appeared before the finish.
It's me, it's all of you booty buddies out there talking about, hey, Terence Crawford will whoop Boots. Boots ain't ready for Terence Crawford. Shut your ass up. Shut your ass up. Shut your ass up. Because we were saying this a while back, a year ago.
At no point did Bud question Boots' talent or his overall ability inside the ring. Instead, his message seemed to suggest that fans often become distracted by highlight reel knockouts and overlook everything else that happened during the fight. While most spectators focus almost entirely on the dramatic ending, elite fighters carefully examine every exchange from the opening bell until the final punch. Crawford believes those overlooked moments are just as important as the knockout itself because they often reveal valuable information about a fighter's habits and vulnerabilities.
My breakdown with Boots and Xander is, you know, I felt like Xander the wrong fight, you know, but, you know, a lot of people knew Xander was green and he was taking a fight too soon. But at the same time, you can't exchange with somebody that's faster than you and more athletic than you. So I thought that was the wrong game plan in his own right. You know, Boots is more faster, sharper, especially in the exchanges. And I think that's what led Xander to get hurt the times that he did get hurt, because he got caught with it.
When evaluating the matchup itself, Crawford believes Xander Zayas accepted an enormous challenge before he was truly ready for it. He has praised Zayas for his talent and long-term potential, but also believes experience and timing remain two of the biggest factors in boxing. Facing someone as physically gifted, confident, and accomplished as Boots at this stage of his career may simply have been too much too soon. According to Crawford, bravery and determination are admirable qualities, but they cannot replace proper development or years of experience against elite competition.
Experience, like he really just gave his corner the opportunity to do whatever they wanted. That's how I see it.
Okay, meaning when he looked over to them?
Right.
Okay.
But that's what you taught. You know, you taught when you get a knockdown or if you get hurt, look at your corner. So I wouldn't say that he quit because he took the big step in getting in there when he didn't have to.
How did you think Boots looked?
Boots looked like himself. He was sharp, he was explosive, and, you know, the experience that he carried in the ring allowed him to be victorious that night, and his skills and talent.
Did you think he would look like that, or did you think he would look better, worse? What were you expecting going in?
I wasn't expecting anything.
Okay.
I was just expecting to watch Xander fight and Boots fight.
Meanwhile, Boots has only intensified the discussion by confidently declaring that both Terence Crawford and Devin Haney would be easy work for him. That level of confidence is exactly why fans continue talking about these dream matchups every single day. Ennis clearly believes he belongs above every major name currently surrounding him in boxing. Following his dominant victory over Xander Zayas, Boots feels his speed, power, confidence, and overall skill set have all reached another level. However, bold statements naturally bring enormous expectations, and every future performance will now be judged against those confident predictions.
I'm gonna ask you some names. I need to know, does easy work pop in your mind or a challenging fight? Xander.
Easy work.
Charlo.
Easy work.
Fedor.
Easy work.
Errol Spence.
Easy work.
Devin Haney.
Easy work.
Ennis later doubled down on those comments by making it perfectly clear that Crawford's opinion does not concern him. According to Boots, whether Bud decides to respond publicly or remain comfortably retired changes absolutely nothing about his own ambitions. His focus remains fixed on collecting world titles, becoming the undisputed champion, and defeating whoever stands across the ring from him. If Crawford chooses to return, Boots fully believes he wins that fight. If Crawford never comes back, Ennis intends to continue building his legacy without waiting for anyone's approval.
We ain't worrying about what you got to retired. You know, we focus on tasking. Taking over this division. We ain't worrying about no retired fighters.
Yeah, y'all keep on filming Terence up. Terence, he retired. Leave Terence alone. Let him do what he's supposed to do. You know what I mean? Have fun and enjoy his family.
Boot.
He made the statement. Who that?
Blood made the statement. Sorry.
All of them. I don't care who makes the
Greg Hackett supported that mindset completely. In his opinion, Boots cannot allow his career to revolve around a fighter who has already stepped away from the sport. Crawford has secured his legacy, earned worldwide respect, and accomplished everything he needed to accomplish, while Ennis still has his own journey ahead of him. Hackett believes Boots should continue chasing championships, elite opponents, and career-defining opportunities regardless of whether Crawford ever accepts the challenge. If the fight eventually happens, that's great. If it never materializes, the mission remains exactly the same.
We fighters. Listen, we fighters. We not rappers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Rappers gotta talk. Fighters gotta fight. Let's fight. Why do I gotta call you? You want this man to wake up in the morning and be like, Bud, like, come on, bro. What the is that? You know what I mean? And listen, anybody will tell you, I with Bud Crawford. I with Bud. I think he's one of the baddest motherfuckers to ever do it.
Trainer Breadman Edwards offered another important perspective by pointing to the difference in competition. He believes Xander Zayas was always a favorable stylistic matchup for Boots because Ennis possessed clear advantages in strength, experience, creativity, and overall physical ability. Crawford, however, represents an entirely different level of opposition. Bud is a seasoned champion who recognizes patterns quickly, adjusts almost instantly, and punishes mistakes with ruthless precision. Bredman's message is straightforward. Dominating Zayas does not automatically mean the same strategy would produce similar success against someone with Crawford's experience and ring intelligence.
I don't think he has a glass jaw, Mills. I think that he's an adorable guy, but I think that we overestimated, not we, but just the boxing world just overestimated his size and his fundamentals. I do. I think, and Boots' supposed lack of defense. Xander is the one with the leaky defense. He could not miss him. But Xander was never criticized for his defense. You know what I'm saying, bro? He never gets criticized for.
Have you been seeing a lot of people saying that? Why did he fight this type of fight?
Yes.
You've seen him fight, Brett.
Yes, and I thought he would box more, but you got to remember in the first round, Boots was killing him with the jab.
Facts.
And he dropped him. So Xander probably said, if I stay on the end of this, he gonna pick me apart all night because he's just too fast and too sharp.
Mm-hmm.
So he probably said, let me just be bigger and stronger and go to work and try to do what Karen did in the second fight and see if that works, because he was on the end of that hot shit early, and Boots is so much quicker than he is. He probably said, man.
Okai reacted to Crawford's famous statement that he is 10 steps ahead of Boots by saying the comment perfectly captures Bud's mentality. In his view, Crawford is not simply referring to physical talent or athletic ability. Instead, he believes his greatest advantage comes from his mind and the way he approaches every fight. Reading opponents, anticipating their next move, making instant adjustments, and controlling the pace of the contest are areas where Crawford feels he has no equal. That confidence explains why he believes superior boxing intelligence can overcome youth, speed, and athleticism.
Too. But when you look at Crawford's career, until the end of his career, Crawford hadn't fought anybody that people thought that had a chance against him. You know what I'm saying? That was his biggest criticism, was his strength of opposition. So for him to use that same criticism on an up-and-coming Boots not at the tail end of his career. He's ascending, and he's fighting guys like that, right? So I think that that's the only knock I had, was to try to knock the opponent was my issue. But him going back and forth and saying what he think he can do against the Boots, I get that. You're a fighter. Fighters think like that. I don't think Boots said same easy work, you know what I mean? Which, that's just the way fighters are, because they look at it like, at the end of the day, I think I got.
Bernie the boxer sees this potential showdown as the ultimate battle between two different generations of elite fighters. Boots enters the matchup with youth, explosiveness, physical size, and tremendous confidence, especially now that he has settled comfortably into his new weight division. Crawford, meanwhile, remains the master strategist whose greatest strength has always been solving the toughest puzzles placed in front of him inside the ring. According to Bernie, this fight would answer one fascinating question. Can superior physical gifts overcome years of championship experience, ring intelligence, and tactical brilliance?
That question first. I want to ask you that question first. Can you answer that for me, Boots? If you see this interview and everybody's talking, or Boots fans or whoever it is, and everybody getting mad at me, I'm just asking you, if you're the #1 contender for Errol Spence, why would you let Bud Crawford take your spot? Okay. Now, okay. Fine. I commend you on that, because let's just say you wanted those guys to fight for that way you can be undisputed. Okay, I'm going to let those guys fight because, I want to be undisputed. Okay. So we let you slide on that. Okay. Now, when this fight is made, just like most big fights, there's usually a rematch clause, okay? So with these type of superstar fighters, we know they fight, infrequently. They fight less. It's not gonna be immediate. It's not gonna be. So let's say they fight. How much do you think the time would be for the rematch to happen? right in there to fight Crawford again. Actually, they're going to be trying to get rid of Crawford after that. Like, we didn't want you anyway.
Shannon Sharp, Chad Johnson, and Joe Johnson also shared their thoughts after Boots' dominant victory over Xander Zayas. All three agreed that they witnessed a complete performance from beginning to end, praising the way Ennis controlled the action, dictated the pace, and imposed his style throughout the contest. They believed Boots looked composed, confident, and fully in command from the opening bell until the fight was ultimately brought to a close.
Hey, Unc, he taking a lot of punishment in there, man. He taking a lot of punishment in there. Well, let me know when to go, Unc. Go ahead.
All I'm gonna say is this: when he came, when he switched, he started out in Orthodox because he's an Orthodox fighter.
Yes.
He went to Southpaw. Ocho, every lead left he threw, he landed it. He was like, damn, 100%. I'm talking about flush. I'm like, damn, Xander, he doing all this, his head still. It's like, you know how they move that ball and they be punching that ball and be going back and forth. Yeah. That's Xander's head. Shoulders moving, head right there. Ping,
right there.
Ping, hey. But Boots took a little beating too now.
Joe, that
third round.
Come on. That third round, I mean, Booth said it. Booth said it, when he talked to the commentator after the fight in that third round, I got a little bit lazy with my defense. Now, he took some shots, Unc and Joe, but most of the time he rolled with him. But at that third round, and I'm surprised that Xander, also, that Boots being the puncher that he is, Xander chose to just stay in the pocket and just
you better get out of range or move your head.
Hey, Unc,
do both. Get out of range and move.
Watching Jaron Boots Ennis stop Xander Zayas in the 7th round left a powerful impression on everyone following the fight. It was exactly the type of statement performance that reminds boxing fans why so many people believe Ennis has the potential to become the next face of the sport. With every dominant victory, the excitement surrounding his future only continues to grow stronger.
In the 7th round. Great performance. I want to salute both of the fighters for putting it all on the line. Their undefeated records on the line. The young Puerto Rican unified champion, stepped up in competition when it came down to Jaron Boots Ennis. Lots of people believe that he is the phenom in boxing, the upcoming star in boxing. But was this performance that catapulted him for that? Well, first round, drops him. Second round, beats him. I say third round and fourth round, I felt like Xander Zayas had lots of success in those rounds. I felt like he hurt Jaron Boots Ennis. I seen Jaron Boots Ennis clinching in the third.
That wraps up today's video. Stay tuned for more boxing news, breaking updates, and in-depth coverage coming your way very soon.